Hello everyone. I wanted to come on a little bit early to get situated here for our final day. I can't believe how many breakthroughs everybody's received, all of the support and the love that you guys have literally poured into each other. I'm just making sure on my phone, getting myself situated. Let me just make sure this is good to go. And if you're just joining, welcome. There we go. Cool. Okay. Okay, awesome. By one. Cool. All right, when you join, let me know that you're here. Make sure that you are granting. Hello, Melissa. I knew it was you. First one on. I love that so much. I'm on time. Yes, you've been through Release and Rise. You know how we do it. I love it. Okay, we're going to get started in a minute or so. And we're going to have some fun tonight for the last night. I can't believe how many just connections, that's the word I'm looking for. How many connections were made, and we're all going to have fun together and monetize your magic. So whenever I reopen the group again on Monday, you can all go connect with each other there. And as people are joining, okay, perfect, cool. So make sure that you are granting permission for Ecamm Live to see your name so that I can see who's here. So Rachel can see who's here, so you can check off that box about being live and get a chance to win one of those potential prizes. So I'm so excited. I decided I'm not going to dance tonight because that seems to be, when we involve music in the mix, something happens with the live. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep it calm tonight for the third night. So I am celebrating you all big time. I have watched all of the shifts, the transformation in such a short amount of time. And it just goes to show what happens when you show up and you play full out and you engage with other people and you take action, right? That is the key to everything that we talked about this whole time, right? So it's desire, but it's also taking action. And I'm accidentally here on time. I love it. Damn it. That's why I was on time. Yes, exactly, Melissa. I see you. I don't know if you can see my name. Yes, I can. I can see you, Christy. Awesome. Cool. So I've been loving seeing all the engagement in the group. It's just really powerful to have a group of women together, healing, transforming, and scaling your profitable business, right? Because that's what we all want. We want the freedom, we want the flexibility, the wealth flowing in for us. And so I'm really excited to see how your businesses take off, no matter what your path is. If you are joining us for Elevate Entrepreneur, if you are going somewhere else down the road, wherever that is, I am just celebrating you, and I know that we'll stay connected. So, okay, so I got a download today, and it was to give you guys a surprise, but it's not going to be announced till the end of the live, so you have to stay on for the entire live, and I'll be announcing it at the end. Just a couple of quick announcements. So that's the first one. The second one is that Rachel and I are going to be reviewing everybody's engagement, your assignments, how you engaged with everybody in the group. And we're going to be picking the winners for the 3 prizes. So you'll either win cash, content, or coaching. We kind of have some people on our radar already, and Rachel and I are going to be discussing that tonight. So we're going to give you until tomorrow at 4 o'clock to get the last assignment in. So there's going to be 2 action steps to do tonight. And then we're going to be announcing, or we'll be actually, Rachel will be private messaging those 3 people. So you'll get a private message from her tomorrow, and she'll ask you for your PayPal, information if you're the one that won the cash, or, all these other things that I'm offering. She'll give you, I don't want to give too much away. So she'll just message you. We'll just say that. So I'm really excited to grant that, because I reward action takers, people who are ready to rise, to elevate. And so I'm celebrating all of you, whether you, brought in money or a new clients or whatever that was. So just really honoring you along your journey. And we are going to be closing the group next Wednesday. So we're going to keep the group open until the 15th around 5 p.m. And then after that, we're going to be closing the group to fully serve the women in Elevate Entrepreneur so I can fully serve my clients and all of the amazing things that we have going on. So just wanted to let you know. So we are keeping the group open until next Wednesday. Okay, we see, yes, I see Nina, Lisa, awesome. So I'm going to be watching the chat here. Rachel is on too. She'll be taking notes of who is on. So really excited to dive into client converting confidence and embodying your queen frequency. So if you're looking through that, detailed PDF, you're like, wait, where is she? I've kind of, that's kind of bonus content for you that you can look through. And we've touched upon a couple of those things in that document, but I also was feeling into the group energy and what I felt would be really helpful. So that's how I've curated this actual live content, was through tapping into everybody's energy here. So it's curated specifically for this group, which is beautiful. So the overview of what we've gone through in the past few days. So tapping into desire and decision, clarity on who you serve, creating boundaries and containers to hold your clients along their journey. What takes them from point A to point B, that bridge that everybody liked, right? I think I still have that up here. We're going to go back to this bridge today. Day 2, we talked about the 3 phases of transformation, the 3-step block clearing exercise, upgrades, all of those things to help really with your embodiment. The upgrades, I saw some comments going around, Colleen and Melissa, you were talking about hiring support, right? Hiring a cleaning person. Grant yourself permission. If it's going to allow you to be in your zone of genius, lean on that support. So that you're not, trying to do all the things. So you are focused, right? We talked about energetic management. Grant yourself that, because it's actually allowed to be easy for you. So what things are you denying yourself right now that can actually make the path a lot smoother? So start to think about those questions. What am I not allowing myself to invest in? What am I afraid to let go of? I remember I had a client who was saying to me, she's like, I don't want to hire a VA because I know I can do it better myself. And I'm like, oh, girlfriend, no, you got to let go a little bit, and maybe it's not going to be exactly right the way that you want it, but lost you. Trish is in the room. 100% need more support. Absolutely. Yep. Lost you. Can you guys hear me? I don't know who that is. Can you guys hear me, see me? This happened both nights, so I wouldn't doubt. Let go of so much control. Yeah, exactly. And as pharmacists, we're used to that, right? We're used to control, perfectionism. If you're not perfect, someone dies, right? Could potentially die. So I get where all of these patterns come from. Perfect. Okay. I don't know. Maybe that was Rachel. I don't know. Anyway, we're here. So allow yourself to lean on support that's going to allow your energy to be directed towards your zone of genius and serving your clients. You don't need to be doing all the things, right? It's allowed to be easy, so lean into that. So what I want to move through first is diving into the elevating your content, because we talked a lot about energy, but I want to show you practically how this shows up in your business when you elevate your energy in your messaging. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples of how this can show up. And the first thing that I want to go into is very simple, but it's interesting to see sometimes how vague these results that we might put out there might be. And so I just want to reflect that to you. Again, lens of compassion as we go through all of this work. So an example of an elevator pitch, I'm going to give you 2 examples. One will be kind of, the first example without the elevating your energy or your messaging energy. And then the second one will be kind of that amplified energy that we're really looking to lean into. So an example of an elevator pitch is typically, I help blank to blank so they can blank. So I'll say that again. I help blank to blank so they can blank. So an example of this, I hate to call it lower frequency energy, but an example of how this sounds could be, I help ambitious women to gain more energy so they can feel empowered and increase their income and impact. right? So you don't really feel the power there. I want to feel when I'm reading something, when I'm scrolling on Instagram or Facebook, I want to hear power. Like, this is how I help you. These are the clear results, right? That's when you really, people lean into you. And that's where the magnetism comes in. I'm just going to brighten this a little bit more. Okay. When I'm shine bright like a diamond here, I got my diamonds. I got my earrings that Melissa loves. Okay, so that was example number 1. And this could be an example of the elevated messaging here. So I help pharmacist entrepreneurs release self-sabotage so they can own your brilliance to scale a profitable, heart-centered business. So it's really specific, right? Pharmacist entrepreneurs. I'm owning my brilliance of this is exactly how I help you. And it's a direct result. So scale a profitable, heart-centered business. So when you really drill down what your ideal client wants, typically, I would be curious to see actually what, if you polled your audience, what is it that they really want? What is that life-changing result? So all of you, for example, you know, what I just read, you all want to scale a profitable business, right? So that is who I help. I have inner shifts and outer strategies that I implement with my clients to help you to scale a profitable business. That's very magnetic, right? So I want you to just kind of feel in for yourself where you might have maybe some vague terms that like gain more energy. I hear that a lot. Or shift your mindset. Well, what does that practically look like, right? How are you helping them? What is your methodology? What are the tools? What are some of the things that can really get that person excited when you first start talking? So this can be used for a talk. If you're doing a podcast, nailing your elevator pitch is so key. Because number 1, it gets people leaning into you right away. And 2, it gets them to take action. It's like, oh, I want that, right? It's like kind of a hand raiser that gets people leaning into you. So feel into that for yourself. Who do you help? I help blank to blank. What is the transformation? What is that arc, right? Point A to point B. So they can blank. So they can scale a profitable healing business. So they can, I don't know what some other examples might be. So they can, Katie Wood, who's not on tonight, she helps women with fertility so that they can confidently conceive with more ease and flow or something like that. So I'm curious to see, I'm going to come back through these comments, but just feel into what is that literally elevated elevator pitch, right? Really amplifying and turning up the volume on how you help people. I'm going to go into even more specific ways on how you can communicate your brilliance through this second example. So results you get your clients. This is another huge opportunity for you to show your brilliance, to say, hey, I've been doing this for the past X amount of years, right? Like I say that all the time. And it's not from a bragging place. It's like, no, I own my brilliance. I own that I have been doing this for 10 years. And I know that I create life-changing results. I co-create with my clients to help them scale profitable healing businesses, right? So I'm going to give you the 2 examples again. So number 1, or example A, whatever. I help women experiencing burnout to regain their energy so they can love the life they live, right? So that's one example. Again, kind of vague. I get it, women with experiencing burnout, but what is the actual result that they're wanting? So this is another way that you could, that the person might describe their program. In my 6-month burnt out to lit up program, I help you up-level your mindset, regain your energy, and gain clarity on what you want. Again, kind of vague, doesn't clearly communicate your brilliance, and doesn't state the true transformation. Sorry, I meant to make it nicer, smoother. Yeah, Melissa will help you with that. I know I help women who tend to have a certain pain point, how to word it. Yeah, exactly. And that's really where, because words have a frequency. I want you to really feel into this, right? So when you hear the word, and this is what I've always loved writing. So I think it comes a little bit natural to me, and I love words. And so I want you to think about even the choice of words that you're using in your copy and how you describe what you do. When I say like operate a pleasure-led business, right? It's like, ooh, right? It's that frequency of pleasure, of ease, of flow. So start to get creative with how you're helping people and amplifying the wording of what you're using. So It could be something specific that you're helping them do. I'll go into a little bit of what I mean by this, but like things like up level your mindset. Okay, it's helpful, but like, what does that actually mean? How does that translate to practical results? So just kind of feeling into these different examples that I'm giving. So these are, again, about the results that you're getting your client. What do they really want? Is it more energy, fulfillment, freedom? What is that feeling? Exactly. When you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. Words have a frequency. It's so true, Colleen. And again, I've worked with business coaches, and I've done so much with, like, hired so many different coaches and gone through trainings that have shown the power of your words and the words that you choose to literally channel out into the world. And a lot of times, and this is the power of listening to your intuition and leading a pleasure-led business. It's when you open up and you can quiet the mind and you open your channel to, okay, what wants to come through? That's when things become really juicy, really magnetic, because it's coming from your soul. Like, literally, you are channeling your soul frequency. And when you shine that light, your soul clients are like, ooh, yeah, she's mine. Like, she's my soul coach. And that's where you co-create this soul contract, right? Here's the thing I want to say too. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it's really on my heart to share. You never have to convince your soul client that to work with you. They just know it, right? So in divine timing, like, maybe it might not be in your timing that you're like, hey, I know I can help you, and this is what we're gonna, move through. And it just might not be the right time, and that's okay. So I want you to really anchor into that. Your soul clients have already signed up for a soul contract with you. So it's about letting go of that, like, that pressure that we put on ourselves. And it's just like, ease, right? Amen. You don't have to convince. Like, they just know. They're like, oh, yes, there you are. I see you shining in your brilliance. I see you amplifying the messaging to speak to my heart. That's really what people want. Yes. That's why, yes. Sarah, I love it. Yes. So this is example B. So I'm going to go into, I just made this up, the Burnt Out to Lit Up program. Okay, so I help you release self-sabotage, keeping your light dimmed, so you can elevate your energy and step into higher levels of passion, purpose, prosperity. Like, if that's not a hell yeah, I don't know what is, right? I just made up this program, but like these are some of the things that I do. So clear energetic leaks that are draining you so you can have energy to be more present with your children, work on your business, or even relax, right? We're so used to keeping busy and doing. Reclaim your power and unlock your gifts so you're able to transition out of your pharmacy job to experience freedom and fulfillment. So if you hear the words that I'm sharing, it's very specific things like release self-sabotage. So what is the action you're helping them do? Is it release? Is it clearing work? Is it amplifying or accelerating the path for them? They're plugging into your proven, your not only your soul gifts, but your experience, certifications. I believe that we come onto this planet with soul gifts that we can share. So you've been doing this work. You were born for this, right? So owning that and communicating that is so key. How are you helping people collapse time? They're plugging into your systems that you've, like, for me, I've mapped out my Elevate Entrepreneur Academy after seeing in my own journey and seeing what really moves the needle for people to help scale a profitable business. So I help people to collapse time. Something that would take you 5 years now takes you 6 months. So this is how I want you to start thinking. And also, I mean, we could go into a whole other conversation about, I was laughing at hell yeah. I love that, Lisa. About pricing based upon the potency of what you bring, right? So it's not about being affordable. It's about owning that this is what I have. This is kind of like dipping into that phase 3, right? Where you're anchoring in certainty. This is what I have. This is what I have to offer. And when you're so anchored in what you bring and the certainty of the gifts that you have, then you're not attached to the outcome on the other side, because you're like, I'm good. I'm going to keep having fun over here because I know that the work I do is powerful. And this is kind of also giving you a little teaser for the queen energy that I'm going to talk about. But this is how you start amplifying your messaging. How are you specifically, practically helping people to collapse time, to plug into proven systems or strategies or things that you help them just, hey, you don't have to go Google these things. I have it all right here for you. Because when people don't invest in your program, it's costing them something. So I really want you to feel into that. It's costing them time, because then they have to go figure it out and they have to go, Google it and try to piece it together by themselves. And it's going to take so much time. And oftentimes people just are like, screw it, right? You're helping them save energy so they can be more present with their children, so they can focus on their zone of genius. So it's all of these things that I want you to really feel into. So I would love to see, this is going to be one of your action steps that we'll have posted in the group after. What are the results that you get your clients from this elevated perspective of owning, this is who I am, this is what I have, really getting crystal clear on the practical things that you're helping them do. So what is your methodology? How are you helping them? What does that actually look like? These are all the questions you can start to ask yourself. And I would love to see that in the Facebook group so that I can help you elevate some of the messaging too. So excited for that. Okay, so I wanted to share with you how this practically translates to more income and impact in your business. You can probably already piece it together that the more you shine and show up in your brilliance and move from your heart and release a lot of these blocks, it's going to be easier for your client to see you, to know your frequency, to be like, wow, she really owns her gifts, right? And to invest with you, because you really are here to make an impact and to help those soul clients. And every day that you don't do the inner work is costing you from being able to really shine your light so that you can start calling in the money, the clients, and creating the life that you want. And I know that's what you're here for. So whoever's here, give me a hell's yeah. We're going to do Lisa Zilbauer. Hell yeah, we're ready for it. Okay. So when you clearly connect the dots to, from your client's pain point, right? From that point A to point B, you are the bridge. When you clearly communicate that, it's like a no-brainer, right? You want to be that have to hire coach. And so that is what this work is going to help you do. So I want to give an example of Tiff. Tiff is actually in the group, but I think she came on live the first day. But anyway, Tiff was a pharmacist and a trainer, and she came to work with me, I think it was a couple years ago. But anyway, when we first started coaching together, she was struggling with communicating her brilliance, and she had a lot of fear around being visible. There were a lot of blocks around being seen in her business, and she worked with me as a one-on-one client. And she tried everything. She tried to grow her social media organically. She wasn't seeing the results she wanted. She wanted to quit her pharmacy job and couldn't. And so we implemented some of these teachings that I'm sharing with you right now to help her amplify her messaging. We did a lot of releasing blocks around being seen and shining her light and anchoring in safety in the body, because that's really, and I know everybody saw my post today, when you just go to the mind, when you're trying to mindset your way through these blocks and read books or listen to podcasts or whatever, that's all good. It'll support you, but the real healing is this deeper transformation work. So we did that together, and she started to show up in her brilliance, and she doubled her coaching income. She moved to part-time pharmacy work, and she actually manifested a job at a gym. So just like celebrating Tiff right now. She's not on, but we're celebrating you. So that's how this starts to translate. All of the work that we've been talking about, the energetic work, the inner work, as well as these practical strategies that I teach you. This is the magic. This is what unlocks that next level for you. Yes. Yay, Tiff. I love it. Lisa, you're like the cheerleader of the group. I love you so much. You're just always showing up and shining. I love that. So something to digest, something to think about. I want to see your frameworks, Rachel. And actually, no, I don't need you to do anything. I was going to say post about that, but that'll be one of your action steps. Yay, Tiff. Yes. She's awesome. So I wanted to move to really, embodiment. So we can talk about all of these things about the shifts and the strategies and all of that. But really the bottom line is about embodiment, right? That phase 3, what we really want to be tapping into is that higher queen. I call it the queen frequency. So it's this version of you that is just unleashed in your self-expression. You are shining your light. You're self-led, meaning that you don't wait for permission from the outside to follow your pleasure-led desire. You become so intimately connected with your body that you know, oh, this feels really good. This is what I want to do, right? Like that download came through for me today and I was like, oh, that's pleasure-led. Let's do that, right? Which I'll tell you at the end what that is. So I want you to start to feel into the fact that your frequency creates your reality. Actually, I want to anchor that in with you here. So type in the comments, my frequency creates my reality. And I'm going to start to show you this. Yes, let's all tap. I love it so much. All right. So, all right, this way. I'm going this way. Okay. So I wanted to show you this image of, what this looks like to collapse time. So we talked about how, this is just a line of time, and time is actually just a construct to allow us to know, okay, like I'm going to meet you at 6 o'clock or whatever. But really, you can actually collapse time by embodying this queen frequency and operating from that version of yourself. So for you, everybody's queen is gonna look different. So my queen might even look different than yours. Like I know we talked about, I think it was Brigitte, I always mess up your name, I'm sorry. She was talking about how her, highest self is like that sage healer. For you, it might be like the badass, like lioness, whatever that is for you, to start to tap into that version of yourself. And if you haven't listened to the Quantum Queen meditation, everybody loves it. It's really powerful. It's a visualization where you go and look at your highest self in the mirror. So if you're like a little bit fuzzy right now and you can't visualize her, go and listen to that meditation. It's really powerful. So you collapse time when you take action from the version of you that's already there. So again, I keep coming back to the 10K month example because it's just the easiest, most tangible thing. And so how would you be acting as that version of yourself? What would be different? How would you be relating to money? How would you be relating to your business differently? If you are already in that state, what thoughts would you be thinking? So this is kind of a journal prompt that you can do. I would write this down and just say, who would I be? What thoughts would I be thinking? What decisions would I be making, right? That decision, that action. If you already knew, I'm already provided for. It's there, it's in the future. I'm going to be collapsing time now and operating from the version of myself that already has it. And when you start doing that, then the universe starts to literally mold around you. So the universe is like, oh, she's serious now. Look at this. Taking action, right? We can have these desires, but again, back to day one, if we don't do anything to execute, it's just going to remain a desire. And then we remain going back and plugging back into past programming, beliefs, and patterns. So that's what I have here. I think she's doing a peace sign. I created this on Canva. I love this image. So you can choose, right? You can choose to plug back into old beliefs and scarcity and there's never enough and all of this, or you can collapse time and continue taking daily action that version of you would already be doing, right? Frequency creates my reality. Love that so much. So ask yourself these questions. How would I be acting? Who would I be? To me, the queen, I want to just tap into this queen frequency with you. The queen says yes to her desires. She moves from certainty. She is magnetic because she owns her power. She doesn't give her power away to the expectations, the opinions of other people. She is so tapped into the body. And that's really a lot of this magnetism work. It's actually coming back into the body because as empaths, we're so out here with people. Let me just move this away, right? We're so like, oh, how can I help you? What can I do, right? And sometimes that turns into codependency patterns of like, well, let me do it for you, or let me feel overly responsible, not serving you. So how can you let go a little bit? We just talked about this before, letting go and allowing yourself to receive. Because when we're like this, oh, I have to grip onto control. Oh, I have to do it all myself. You're not really allowing yourself to receive. Literally, look at my hands, right? My hands are in a fist. I can't receive that way. You have to open, you have to relax your nervous system. You have to anchor in safety in the body. And that's what allows these higher levels of receiving, of clients to come to you. Because when you're operating from your heart, that is the most magnetic thing that you can do for your clients. Again, they don't need your certifications. They don't need to know how much you know about, biohacking or whatever it is. They need your heart. They need to know that they're supported, that they're seen and heard. So that is the number one thing that I really want you to walk away with from this whole experience together. The Queen also has deep levels of trust. So again, when you're empowered, you're coming from this place of, I trust myself, and you're leading your business in a pleasure-led way that allows you to create offers that align with what your soul imprint is and who you're here to be. Like, I know I'm here to bring more light and love onto the world, to help bring healing into healthcare. And that's come with time. Like, I don't want anybody to look at me and be like, oh my gosh, like you've done, and I've done a lot of things, but it's taken 10 years to get there. And for the first 7 of my business, not that I wasted time, but I spent a lot of time in that phase 1, just really, it felt so difficult, and I couldn't just, I was having a really tough time receiving clients or even asking for more than $100 a session for my sessions. And so I just really want you to know, I get where you're at, no matter where you are, and your queen frequency is there. So I want you to really tap into her, go after the live and listen to that Quantum Queen meditation and start to ask yourself how you would be showing up differently. What new choices would you be making? And I've actually seen this. I'll just give you a quick example. So this actually, I tell this story all the time, but when I first quit retail pharmacy, I had a coach that was like, oh yeah, I charge $18,000. And I was like, oh my God, like I'd never spent that much money before, on a coach or anything like that. So I was choosing from my highest wealth timeline when I invested in her. And literally the next month, I made that money back. And I had never created that amount of wealth for myself in my business. So it was because I was acting from the version of myself that was already replacing my pharmacist income. I was taking bold action towards the desire, right? So these things are going to start coming at you now that you're doing this work. I talked to Colleen about this today. Sometimes we get tested and these different things come up to be like, oh, really? You ready? Right? And it's so important to have support. So I want you to know you are not alone on this journey. And I've been through it all. I can really relate to, whatever you're moving through, and or most. I don't want to claim that I've been through everything, but I can definitely relate, and I'm here with you. So you are not alone, Queen. This journey is really about stripping away all of the conditioning, all the programming, the armor, the masks, the personas that we wear to become the real you, to become that queen that doesn't care if you have messy hair, doesn't care if, whatever happens in your business, if you do a launch and no one signs up or whatever it is, you come back to these deep levels of self-compassion, self-love. That is the foundation for building a profitable healing business. I know you probably don't want to hear that, but that is what I've found over the past 10 years. So aligning to that queen frequency is really so key. And so I want us to claim something before we close out tonight. I know we have a little bit more time, because the universe will shift when you start to show up differently. So we just talked about that. We want to be collapsing time and choosing and claiming, this is who I choose to be. So I want everybody claiming something in the chat here. And by claiming, I want you to just say, like, I am claiming that, like Melissa Hetrick, it might be that I'm a powerful healer. Or I am claiming that I am abundant, or whatever that is for you. I don't want to give you, your own answer, but I want you to just tap in. What are you deciding? What is that energetic decision that you're deciding today? And maybe even closing your eyes and tapping into your heart and just tuning in to that queen version of yourself that's already there, already tuned in, turned on by your offers, welcoming in those clients, open heart, open invitation. Who would you be? What are you ready to claim so that this is real? Oh, yes, I have a powerful voice. Yes, a business that operates. Oh my gosh, Colleen, yes. Oh, that's so good. Yes, please like write these down too. Put them as anchors on your, I use sticky notes. Claim that. I'm claiming that I have everything I need to overcome any and all obstacles. Absolutely. Truth. There's such truth to that. Absolutely, Stacy. I'm really celebrating you, by the way. I saw your Facebook Live, so yay. Celebrating you. And Christy went live and Sarah went live. Oh my gosh, you guys really blew me away with that assignment. So great job on that. What are you claiming, and what empowered masculine action are you going to take based upon that desire, based upon what you're claiming? Inspired life. Ooh, I would love to see more detail, Johnny. That's really juicy. I like that. Yes. I want to hear everybody. I use my voice because I have a lot to say. Yes. Sarah, you have this like really fiery energy, like in a good way, like just like rah, like kind of a lioness. Like that's how I see your higher self. That's how that comes through. So I can really see kind of like a roar, like I will use my voice. I love that so much. All right, keep claiming. Who else is on with me? Beautiful. I love this so much. Before we go on to the last topic, and then I can't believe it's the last night. Okay, so I will keep coming back to the comments here. The last thing that, oh, here we go. A leap of faith and knowing that everything will work out. Oh, that's beautiful. Claiming my trust and taking a leap of faith. Yes, I'm claiming to overcome obstacles in my way and make inspired decisions, trust in myself. Yes, deep layers of trust. That's that phase 3. I love it. Anchor this in. Feel this in your body. Just close your eyes right now and take this in with me. Anchoring in the desire that you have, the energetic decision, what you just claimed, knowing that this can be real for you. Because if you can feel it in your body, if you can see it in your mind's eye, it's only a matter of time before it becomes real for you. I promise you that. So feeling it in your body, just feeling a heart opening, your heart opening to receive, to allow this queen version of you to be here right now. To know that everything is, that you're always supported and provided for. Everything is here for you right now. And just breathing this in. Sealing this in. I am praying over all of you right now. Bringing you light, love, prosperity, blessings over your business. Letting this be real for you right now. Yes. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay, I'm claiming my total queen essence to bring health and harmony, hope and healing to the world. Oh my gosh, Nina, that's so beautiful. I can't wait for your story in Monetize Your Magic. We have a lot of those authors in here. I'm really excited for that. Okay, we're moving on to the last part of the training for today. So what I wanted to talk about is, we talked a lot about, releasing and decluttering a lot of the internal things that, the blocks that we know we need to release with love and compassion. So what things in your physical space can you declutter to free up some more energy to invite in the new? So for me, recently I went through all of my friends on Facebook. I went through a lot of the groups that I was in from years ago, and I started closing these, leaving the groups and defriending some people, and it, bless and release with love, of course. And it was funny because the day that I did that, I got somebody back from when I used to live in New York was like, hey, are you free for a shift? And I'm like, number one, I don't even live in New York anymore. Number two, I'm not a pharmacist anymore, a retail pharmacist. But it's just funny to see how when you close certain doors, new opportunities come through. And even though obviously I can't go work a pharmacy job, sorry, my dog's barking in the background. She just got home from doggy daycare. When you start to shift the energy, it's so powerful. Another example of this was I went through all my client folders, and I have a little like accordion folder, like box over here. And I went through and I just cleaned out. I was like, okay, this is a past client. And I took it out and I actually put it separately in my closet to kind of energetically free up space for new clients to come in. And when I did that, literally, I think it was that night, one of my old clients contacted me and she's like, oh, hey, I'm really interested in your program. I'm like, I know it sounds like a coincidence, but it's really not. So it's so powerful to do some of this decluttering work, whether that's social media decluttering or going through like different newsletters that you're subscribed to, or cleaning up certain areas of your desk. It could be decluttering your wallet, your purse, cabinets. And again, I don't want you getting overwhelmed with all the things here, but you can just intuitively pick, I know I need to go through and declutter some things that, and it's kind of just like releasing, shedding when you do a detox, right? It's kind of detoxing some of these old things and letting them go, bless and release. And sometimes they do have an energetic charge to them. So again, this process of releasing is not always easy. So just deep levels of self-compassion as you do this work. So you can recycle, you can discard, you can donate. There are so many ways to do this that is, really going to help free up some space and some energy for you. Your move. Yes, Lisa, I need your new address. If you could send that to Rachel. I need to declutter my home. Affects my energy. Yes, up-leveling my office this summer. I won't be able to work remotely in beautiful. Oh, I will be able to. Yeah, sorry, I'm reading Johnny. Connect to their inner energy. Yes. Love that so much. Add shelving to my office. There goes Penny. She's so loud. She's 10 pounds and she's like the loudest dog on the block. It's so funny. Okay. So we are officially done with the 3-day challenge. I can't believe how quickly that went. And it's been truly an honor witnessing your transformation. And so much happens in 3 days. Imagine what can happen in 6 months, a year. So I'm really honoring all of you. And so the first thing that I wanted to say is just a reminder that we're closing the group next Wednesday, 5 p.m. And then the second thing, this is the surprise, is that I was feeling into it today, and what felt really good was to offer a fast action bonus for Elevate Entrepreneur Academy. So instead of paying over 6 months, I'm extending it to 9 months. So if you've been kind of on the fence and you're like, I really want to do it, and I just don't know how, maybe financially or whatever's coming up for you. I just kind of felt into that felt really good for me to allow you that wiggle room to pay over time. So instead of the $597 per month for 6 months, it's $397 per month for 9 months. And so that offer is valid until tomorrow at 7 p.m. So if you're like, yes, that's me, that's what I want, then just private message me and I'll send you the link because it's not on the landing page. So you'll have to message me to get that. So enrollment for that is for Elevate Entrepreneur in general is actually the same time that we're going to be closing the group. So we're closing the group. The enrollment will be closing at that same time at 5 p.m. on the 15th. And I just wanted to give you a little bit more details about this container, because I've been getting a lot of direct messages and a lot of questions about it. So this container is a 6-month program with the systems, the strategies, and support of women like this in this group that are going to really foster your growth, because we cannot do this alone, right? It's so powerful to be in a network of pharmacist, entrepreneur, healers. Like, how rare is that, right? To up-level your business, to scale with ease and flow. That is what I'm inviting you into. And I also pair you up with an accountability partner so that you're not, kind of just like, oh, what do I do? You have somebody that you can talk to on a weekly basis that, you can, co-create with each other and really be of a support. And a lot of the women in the last cohort that I just did they're just like soul sisters now. They're like, oh, I love you. Nina and Miriam are an example of that. They're just like soul sisters. It's so cool. So love you all. Yes, community. Yes. And so the 4 pillars that I wanted to share today about this container, because I don't think I've talked about this yet. are, unlocking your gifts and owning your brilliance. I've alluded to it, but that's a big pillar of what we go through in this program. So it's about owning all parts of who you are, your stories, the messiness, the shadow, all of it. And it's about showing the real you, putting that out into the world so your clients can find you. And it's going through these deeper levels of, releasing these blocks and coming back to self-love and compassion no matter what happens. Like I posted the other day, if you fall flat on your face, if you make a mistake, whatever it is, you know how to come back to center and to stay on track and stay consistent in your business. Number 2, unwinding unworthiness. This is a big one that I see with pharmacists because, I know for me, the programming came from my dad and from probably collectively society, but we have a lot of unworthiness patterns that show up like, oh, I can't charge that, or it's unworthiness sounds like, oh, no one's going to buy my offer, or I'm not good enough. That's how unworthiness shows up oftentimes, and it's a huge block to receiving. So we really work with your nervous system to help you unwind that unworthiness, to anchor in that you can actually charge higher levels and with integrity, of course, for your containers, for your offers. The third thing is, we talked about this, I think on, day 1, recalibrating the masculine and feminine. So working from the, releasing the disempowered masculine, which is controlling, force, fear, to the empowered masculine, where you have structures, systems, support that is going to help you scale. All the S's, right? Structure, system, shifts, support, all the S's, right? We have all that. And then the fourth thing is really rewiring your subconscious self-image. So a lot of, pharmacists that I coach, they have an image of themselves as a pharmacist. And that's all that they can see for now, because that's what we've been taught. So you have a subconscious self-image of how you see yourself and your identity and who you're allowed to be. So the work we do here is helping you to release that, to see yourself in this elevated queen state. Extremely powerful. We work with both the inner shifts and the practical strategies to help you scale your business. And, those are the needle movers that I've really seen. Again, I've kind of been like a researcher in, I guess, to see, what are the real needle movers for growing a profitable business. So these are the ones that I have found over the past 10 years. So anyway, if you have any questions, I'm going to be available for the next probably hour. I am going to be taking off for the weekend. So if you're looking for the link for the 9 payment option, you'll have to message Rachel because I will be offline. But if you want to just message me right away, we can chat. I can just, feel into if it's a good fit. And if you're anything like the past clients that I've had that have gone through this program, you'll recoup the investment in a month. So just saying, that's there too. So, okay, moving on to assignments. So number 1, you will post your content. So magnetic messaging. What I mean by that is I want to see what are the results that you're getting people. So we talked about that earlier on. What are the life-changing results that you're getting your clients practically? So post that in the group by 4 p.m. tomorrow. And then, okay, so then the second thing is comment with an example of how you'd share about your heart-centered business if you were fully embodied in your queen essence. So I love that, yes. Okay, so you have until 4 p.m. tomorrow to take action on all these assignments. We'll be selecting the winners, the 3 winners, and Rachel will be private messaging those 3 people tomorrow. And last but not least, if you feel called to share a testimonial about your experience in the challenge, I see, yes, awesome. I see a lot of people giving hearts and comments. Thank you. This was so powerful. I would love to, I would be honored to have you, write a testimonial on your personal page, tag me on it so that other people can know the power of this work, because I know that more people need to know about transformation work and elevating your energy and all of the things that we talked about. So I would be so honored if you would do that for me. You were amazing. Thank you, Lisa. Okay, so I am cheering you on in your business. I am going to be reopening Monetize Your Magic. So I know a couple of you are new to my community. I'll add you to that group. And I am just cheering you on in your business and wishing you nothing but success, love, and blessings in everything that you do. So I'd love to give a testimonial. Yay! All right, everybody, have a great night. Bye.